Thursday, guys. We're here for the third installment of Fantasy Football Thursday here on Darwin's Raven. For those that are new to the channel, this is our every week Thursday fantasy football show where we talk about setting our lineups, of course, across 3 different leagues. We're in a 10-man league ESPN, 12-man league ESPN, and 14-man sleeper league. So, of course, we work through the lineups on our 3 different teams, setting our lineups, as well as, of course, taking questions and talking a little bit about, some of the expected battles we're going to see in fantasy football, a little bit about the injuries, and kind of just prep everyone, not only for their week in fantasy football, but ourselves, and, hype everyone up for this Thursday night game. I know Grossi and all them are covering that game later. Shout out to Grossi, by the way. I was there in his stream earlier. He hit the 700,000 mark today for his channel on the quest to 1 million before the move. So congratulations to him and the entire Pat Cast Grossi posse. But all right, doesn't look like we have anyone coming in here to join us today. At least not so far. But we'll go ahead and start working into this a little bit. Let's see here. There we go. Now we can get a little bit of a better view, I feel like. Might actually pump that up. I have to zoom in to get better views for y'all on these. So, of course, we're in 2 ESPN fantasy leagues. This one, I think we are 0-2 in 2 of the 3 leagues, if I'm not mistaken. Not off to a good start, but like John Harbaugh said, we're not defined by those 2 games. We're defined by the next 15, right? Right. And if you're not following that drama that's going on in Baltimore, it's getting a little wild. We lost to Risky for Trubisky last week and was not a good game. I believe in this league, I took a lot. It's all okay. Yeah. So I took a lot of Raven players and then like an all 2,500 team in a sense. We lost Nakua to IR. We've got Chubb. Our draft strategy was Jonathan Brooks and Nick Chubb on our IR early, hoping to bring them back week 4 to really carry for the running back depth on the team. JK's performed way better than I've expected. And, of course, Derrick Henry, if you're a Baltimore fan, you kind of what's going on over there. Garrett Wilson still hasn't got it off. They're running the heck out of that ball in New Jersey. Stephon Diggs projected 10 points. I don't know exactly where he stands currently. Point rank 23rd. So, not the normal Stephon Diggs that we're used to, but not terrible. Xavier Worthy actually on PFF's sit list this week going against the Atlanta Falcons. That'll be something interesting to keep on, and we'll talk a little bit more about later. Mark Andrews still looking to really get going. Finally got some points last week, ranked 15th tight end in fantasy football. Tyjae Spears, of course, I believe dealing with an injury at the end of that last game, an ankle injury, did not practice Wednesday. I haven't seen the practice report today, but a little bit unfortunate. I've been betting on Tyjae to kind of take over there a little bit. DJ Moore, clearly frustrated over there in Chicago, still ranked 40th on the wide receiver. A lot of people are saying that this is going to be Tank Dell's week. It's going to be definitely very interesting. And Terry McLaurin, I believed in you, Terry. I believed in you and Jaden. Jaden Daniels, though, with all his runnings, actually proved pretty well. Brock Bowers has been carrying me on my bench. My fantasy chat's covering it. There we go. Number 2 ranked tight end. So we definitely about to get Brock in there. We going with that double tight end approach. And, of course, I made sure in all of my leagues, after the game is over, I don't touch my lineup other than maybe doing free agency acquisitions and stuff like that until the week, just so I can, actually set the lineup live with everyone. It really kills us, though. Is Nakua coming back? He's going to miss 5 to 7 weeks. I can't drop him, man. And it just kills me with Jonathan Brooks, Nakua, and Chubb. my 2 IR spots are eaten by my planned ones and then one actual one. We did get Carson Steele here in free agency, the undrafted rookie free agent, running back for Kansas City, who's going to, of course, compete with Perrine this week for carries at Atlanta. So I might. This is tough. So this quick shout out to like the Ravens game, talking about the Dallas Derrick Henry matchup. As you can see, Derrick Henry's matchup right here on the right side of the screen, 32nd. The Dallas Cowboys can't stop the run. We've been talking about it since last year. We've been talking about it since the year before that. Mozzie Smith was an absolute reach by the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm sorry, Dallas Cowboys fans. For I know y'all probably, most of y'all agree with me, to be honest with you. But they can't stop the run. So if Baltimore cannot get the run game going, even against that, it's time to hit a little bit maybe of an emergency button in the sense of the run game and blocking for the Ravens O-line. I know Ben Cleveland, I think, finally spoke to someone. Sounds like he's been doing all the right things. Looks like he's been doing all the right things. Oh, we got Sponge coming in. What up, Sponge? How you doing today, brother? I think he's getting everything situated there. But again, like if the Ravens can't get the run game going against Dallas, then something is seriously broken in Baltimore. You know. Garrett Wilson versus New England. We're gonna.
Oh, yo, what's up? What's up?
Oh, there you are. What up, my boy?
Hey, you stole Carson Steele from me, bro.
I think I got Steele and Perrine.
Bro,
I know someone beat me for Hunter Henry. We're going to talk a lot about Hunter Henry here in a little bit.
I really need running backs, bro.
Make me a trade.
No.
Give me Chase. I'm still thinking about it. You offered me Chase Brown for Hutchinson, right?
Well,
Hawkinson?
actually, I revoked that trade.
Dang, I was looking for it. I was straight looking. I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to take that. We're actually going to talk about that matchup here shortly as well.
Bro, I got fucking Chase Brown as my starting running back. Fucking save me.
I'm telling you right now, I like Chase Brown, but I already had Aaron Jones or whatever when I already had my like true. I thought it was going to be my carry guy for the year. Not the best, but going to get me the like top 10 points out of the position was my goal with that pick. Man, I've got Brock Bowers in multiple leagues, and I'm excited about it. Carolina, they're playing Carolina this week. The question is, I've got to start Derek. Is J.K. Dobbins? New England is 5th ranked. Let me double check this. Hold on, I'm going to. Where's New England on PFFs? Where the hell's it? Oh, they're 16th. They're not. Patriots playing some strong D. Do I sub out Dobbins for Carson Steele and hope he breaks some points? There's no way. I got to trust Dobbins on that. I feel like in this league, there's not much else I'm doing. Let's check the matchup. What's the predicted scores here? I am projected to lose by 15 points to, looks like a Dolphin fan. I got to zoom out a little to get everything in the picture there. There we go. So I've got him beat in quarterback and RB1. He's got me beat with Brian Robinson Jr. Actually, it's funny. I traded him for the Ravens defense. And Brian Robinson Jr. Because in this league, I took a lot of Ravens players. And Brian Robinson Jr., I think, is averaging like 6 yards a carry. He's having a great year. Really, Garrett? Yeah, poor Dolphin fans, man. What do you think they're going to do with quarterback? Oh, we lost Spongy. But I'm still any team that is currently looking for a quarterback, whether it be the Giants or the Dolphins or who knows. Oh, when Spongy comes back, I've got to talk about something else too. And maybe we'll talk about it actually here when we talk about the quarterback sitters. But my boy Gunnar Watson got a tryout from the Buffalo Bills. That's all I'm saying. 6-year starter out of Troy. Had some pretty good numbers. That's all I'm saying. Give my boy Gunnar Watson a chance. I feel like he's a good kid. I feel like he's a leader. I saw pretty good throws out of him. I think he would work so great in a play action offense, which you're already going to be doing a lot of running to protect your young quarterback anyway. He's my boy. There's Sponge. But Miami needs to give my boy Gunnar a call. Ooh, he's got Sam Laporta, and Sam Laporta is going to have a big week too. Fairbairn, don't you have Fairbairn in sleeper? He's been actually one of the better kickers in fantasy football this year.
And Aubrey. We might need a kicker.
I'm going to continue to believe in Tucker in my sleeper league. Oh, so, all right, Sponge. Well, I got you here before your Wi-Fi cuts out again.
No, my phone died.
Yeah. So I saw across some fantasy football talk the other night that would you do this? That the Miami Dolphins need to give the Rams a phone call for Matthew Stafford.
I heard that, and that also involved Bryce Young.
That three-way trade. Yeah, you know exactly which one I'm talking about. Would you do it?
You know what I would flip around?
Let's hear it.
Although I would hate to see Stafford go to a struggling team. Never mind. Send Stafford to the Dolphins.
That's what I'm saying. It instantly makes the Dolphins another playoff contender immediately.
No, wait, sorry. I forgot about the trade. Send Bryce Young to the.
I got offered Devontae and Rashad White for Carr, Mason, and Waddle, or Amon St. Brown, Swift for Carr, Mason.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Carr. The thing is this: the Saints are running the living hell out of the ball, and Carr is playing some of the best, not only play action football we've seen in a long time, but he's beating the blitz. When they blitz him, he is roasting teams right now. Mason's going to continue to rock it, and how long does this McCaffrey injury really continue on for?
It's going to be, I'd say, 2 more weeks. I mean, but we also, the only reason we said 2 more weeks is because the IR.
Waddle's got no. That's rough. But I feel like Devontae's got such limited value in that offense as well.
Rashad White also has very limited value. Rashad White, if you really want to go pick up a Bucs running back, Bucky Irving, if he's not already picked up.
It also depends, too, if what your depth is at the quarterback position behind Carr. You know what I'm saying? Like,
starter is Carr your back.
You're in a 14-man league, and especially if you're in a super flex like on sleeper, there's no way there's quarterback depth left in your league. But nah, I would stick with what you got.
Yeah, tell me about it. There's no running back depth.
Bro, it gets rough, man. You got to be on top of thinking ahead on these injuries. You have to predict the injury before it happens, because if you're not good on, if you didn't lose in your early weeks,
go ahead. I already used up both my IR spots in week 2. And 2 of my star players as well. And I have one more guy hurt on the bench.
He says 10-team league, 2 QB league. I have Mahomes, Geno, and Tua on IR. Oh, that's rough. It's also 3 flex. Wow.
I cut Tua and,
Man, poor Tua, man. Dude's got to retire. Geno's playing pretty good ball. They still need some help on the interior of that offensive line, but he's not having a bad year. Mahomes is Mahomesy. He hasn't had this good a wide receiver core in a long time until Rashee Rice gets suspended. And I just want to say this. I told everybody that Hollywood Brown's sternoclavicular injury was going to be much worse than everyone was making it out to be, and that he was going to need surgery. And the moment I heard,
did they come out and say he needed surgery? Because I heard it was the shoulder problem that kept him out.
I'm pretty sure he's going in for surgery now. He's headed to IR, at least for like the thing is this. Some people said shoulder, but when I read the first report, it said sternoclavicle. Sterno means sternum, that center bone right here in the middle of your chest. Your clavicle is your collarbone. So it's where those two meet. And if you think about that breaking when you have to play all year means if you take a shoulder hit at any point, it could snap and require like full surgery. That's why I was like, oh, this is probably not going to be good for his year. Like, I had a friend have a very similar injury, but on the sterno side, it was on the scapula humerus side. Absolutely brutal injury.
Let me just tell you who the top guys in our free agency class are.
Let's hear it.
All right. Daniel Jones is the top available. That's how you know it's bad.
That's how you know it's bad.
And then Andy Dalton follows him.
Dude, I'm having to start. I don't know if you can see with this league. I'm kind of stuck like you in this league. This is my all 20, like 25 under almost essentially league for those that weren't there for the draft. Man, I took nothing but youth on this team. And a lot of them are bets.
Ty Chandler's there, but I cannot take another bet on a guy who, has half the snaps with another guy. I can't do that again.
Mm-hmm.
Chase Brown already screwed me over.
Chase Brown's only seen 25% of the snaps. Yeah. We'll get into that.
I blame Levi.
It's rough, man. Would you start Keon Coleman, Andre Iosivas, or DJ Moore here versus Indy? Indy doesn't have a pass rush. They lost oh my gosh, forgot his name. I'm so sorry. The former 49er. I'm sorry?
DeForest Buckner, he's hurt.
Yeah, he's on IR.
But the corners down there in Indy are good.
DJ Moore, the entire team's frustrated, honestly.
I think if there's somebody on the Bears that you pick up, Rome Odunze.
I'm going to trust in Iosivas here, weirdly. I'm going to take a huge bet.
Who are your other receivers? I'm not looking at your
Xavier Legette. Oh, wait. Hold on. Do I take Legette and the red rifle bet? I think I do. I think that's where I'm going to make my bet.
Are you going to go pick up Andy Dalton?
No. I have Xavier Legette, who hasn't really seen the snaps that, or the looks. And I got a feeling that they're going to make it a focal point to get him the ball with Andy Dalton.
Oh.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield, my backup quarterback in this league. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm starting to lose faith in DJ Moore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember. Someone made me a trade offer. Okay. Let's see. Receive Jalen Tolbert and Jordan. Isn't the LA Rams wide receiver? No. No. You can get out of here with that, bro.
Oh, yeah. Trenton Simpson's available in free agency.
Trenton Simpson is?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a huge decline from me.
Oh my God, there's this guy I was talking about earlier, and I was thinking about him earlier during school because I was like, it'd be a good fantasy pickup, and now I can't think of the guy.
That's rough.
Look at the D lineman. Hold on. Christian
You're going to go ahead to sleeper.
Oh. Yeah.
Dude, did you see Christian Wilkins hop over Max Crosby?
He's available, by the way.
Crazy.
Like these defensive tackles, they don't get points.
It's hard, man. It's about pure tackles, and linebackers get that more than anything. It's because I lowered the point.
Problem. Andrew Van Ginkel, yes, he's listed as a linebacker / lineman in this league. But go look at Greg Rousseau, who had a great week 1, an amazing week 1. He only scored 3 points. And
how is that so?
Because I think you only have a point per sack.
No, it should be like 2 or 3. It was 6, and I was like, bro, 6 will break it. Like
his final stat line from the sleeper app themselves. Rousseau recorded 6 tackles, 6 solo tackles, including 3 sacks and a forced fumble during Sunday's 34-28 win versus the Cardinals.
God, I don't know who. I got to figure out who I want to start in that league. That's going to be a rough one.
No, yeah, I'm having a fucking rough time too.
So let's see. I'm playing Sydney Miller.
Oh, yeah, please fucking beat her. Please
let's
fucking
see.
beat her.
I got to go to my team to set it up here. Aaron Jones, questionable. His hip. He fully practiced today, though. I guess he didn't hit the injury report till today. That's tough. They're playing Houston. Let's double check Houston's run defense. About 19th, so middle of the pack. I mean, this is versus, so this is at home for Minnesota as well. I feel like that helps me a little bit. Vinny says, should I start Jacobs or Stevenson?
Start Tyrone Tracy and fucking Chase Brown.
Let's see here. Hold on. All right, so Stevenson of the Patriots. Just want to double check their matchups here. Taking on Seattle. Oh, no, that was, I'm sorry, last week. Why is that last week? It's so weird. Sorry, give me one moment here.
I'm still, respectfully, I'm picking Ramondre Stevenson no matter what matchup, because Josh Jacobs is Jordan Love is probably coming back this week, which shocks me, and I think shocks everybody.
And Josh Jacobs, of course, up in Green Bay. Green Bay is playing Tennessee. That's tough. Tennessee, the 2nd worst run defense in the league. The Jets, the 5th worst run defense, according to PFF. That's tough.
Can you check? I mean, Jordan Mason had a great day against the Jets round day.
I would kind of say Stevenson just because the Jets might get up, and then Jacobs might not see as many carries or receptions.
And Jordan Love's coming back.
Nah, dude, there's no way he's coming back.
He was practicing today, and they said that he might be ready to play on Sunday.
I think it's a bluff. You don't take a chance on your franchise quarterback like that.
Willis.
I think Josh Jacobs dealing with a back injury as well. I'm actually watching NFL Daily over here, presented by DoorDash on the right, and they're actually just talking about the practice report for the Packers.
I think I sent you a Josh Palmer for the Hawkinson trade, though.
Let's see.
I do think I sent that. I don't think I revoked that trade.
J.K. Dobbins taking on that Pittsburgh D.
Oh
Pittsburgh's front 7 is actually Patrick Queen's not playing well according to PFF, but man, their front 4 is nasty.
So really thinking about sending you a trade for J.K. Dobbins.
Bro, I can't do it. He's carrying me right now. Him and Jones are carrying me. And Dobbins didn't start for me week 1.
I'm looking for a dang running back.
Dude, it's rough. I mean, I might have some now. Man, Jameson Williams is predicted to have a good week today, too.
And great, I'm playing the GOAT Rick, and I'm projected. I only have a 36% chance to win.
I thought I dropped. Oh, I had Hayden Hurst planned to drop, but okay. Look, I'm about to go to fantasy football and make probably an addition right now. Let's go take a look. I'm gonna steal the next running back here.
Oh,
Spongy's like, God damn it, no. Oh, let's see. Week 2 performers. Yeah, Herbert needs. They're talking about he needs to get utilized more. Chandler sees a lot of the third down stuff. Foreman's actually on the rise there in Cleveland. He might be the guy.
Don't you fucking do it. Your team is the least need at running back.
Shh, I need all of the running backs. Tutu Atwell, another guy that's heavily contested. Oh.
Wait, they have Atwell as a running back?
No, I switched to wide receiver for a minute.
Oh.
Too funny. Did you just take him?
Who?
Never mind.
No. You can say it. I'm probably not going to take him anyway.
I just took him off, so it's fine. I just picked up Deontay Foreman from the Browns, who saw a decent amount of carries last week and might be coming for
you can take him.
I've got a lot of running backs. I'm kind of handcuffing the backup.
Yeah. 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 I know you're gonna offer me a trade. I already know.
I mean, who you want? Which one you want? You can't have Dobbins. You can't have Jones. Sorry, they're carrying me too much.
See, I was gonna offer for not Daniel Jones.
Jonathan says, "What's up? Need one RB, one flex between Dobbins, Brian Robinson, JSN McBride, full PPR." So, okay, Dobbins playing, of course, against the Pittsburgh this week.
Dobbins.
But hold on, though. Hear me out. Brian Robinson Jr. is averaging like 6 yards a carry right now. Who are they playing this week? Let me double check that. Where the hell is that game? Washington. I'm losing my mind right now looking for them. Why can't I find them?
The primetime game against is it the Bengals?
Oh yeah, that's the double Monday night game. Yeah, versus the Bengals. 0-2 Bengals. Check that run defense. Bengals 18th worst, so they're middle of the pack in run defense.
They're one of the best because that's 12th.
I mean, they're coming in. Let's see here with a 59.6, so they're a sub 60 run defense.
Would Austin Eckler be a bad pickup?
He's splitting the carries, and Brian Robinson's more winning that battle. Like I said, Brian's averaging 6 yards a carry right now, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check something.
Trying to find a freaking running back.
I've got PFF here. I've got this guy. His name is Nathan Janke. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. So he's averaged a top 10 finish over the past 5 seasons in the Fantasy Pro ranking accuracy competition, and he's only one of 3 analysts to do this. So I've got like his power ranking for matchups this week. Looking at the running back position specifically between Dobbins and Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson listed 14th on that list. JK 22nd. So if you were to follow this guy, who's one of the most accurate guys over like the past 5 years, you start Brian in this game. As for JSN versus McBride, let's see here. He's got Trey McBride on the tight end list. Ooh, number 1 playing against the Lions. They've had some struggle with the linebacker position covering
I think the number 1 tight end should be Sam Laporta. He's
in Seattle. Who is Seattle playing? So I would start Brian Rum. They're playing Miami. Oh, they're gonna run the ball on Miami eventually. I would definitely. I think McBride and Brian
Run it into
Robinson.
Tua's head.
Because if Seattle gets up even a score, Kenneth Walker and Zach Carbonet are gonna however you pronounce it, are gonna absolutely.
Kenneth Walker is officially out for this game.
Ooh, Carbonet is just as good though. Let's see, is this at Miami or is this at Seattle? This is in Seattle too, by the way. So this is 12th man.
You want me to go through my starting lineup in my other fantasy league? Because I'm also screwed in that league.
Are you, man? I'm sorry.
Kind of at the running back position a little bit. Josh Allen.
I feel you that on Santiago. I sat Dobbins week 1 myself, and I literally lost because I sat Dobbins. I was so mad at myself.
I got Josh Allen. I just put in Tony Pollard to be my RB1. Never mind.
Okay.
No. Sorry, he's RB2. Stevenson's RB1.
Okay, good matchups for this week.
Tyreek Hill.
Okay, that's rough.
Nico Collins, questionable.
Everyone says this is going to be Tank Dell's week to break out in the Houston.
Trey McBride.
Okay, solid.
Flex. I did it just to do it. I might switch it. It's Carson Steele.
Ooh, okay. I think he's going to beat Perrine for that job 100%.
Although I might put Zeke into that position.
Ooh.
Okay.
Against Baltimore, though?
My kicker, Chris Boswell. I was hoping he was going to break out again last week, but... Oh, sorry. I'm looking at... Because I was wrong about Greg Rousseau. He didn't score 3 points. I'm sorry.
Okay, I was so confused on that.
I was also confused.
Sacks used to be worth 6 points before I made the change, and Cahill agreed with me though that it was good to bring. I think I made it like 2 or 3. Same thing with
Chris
interceptions.
Boswell and my defense, the Ravens' defense, who fucking sold me last week.
Hey, they didn't get bad. Like it was 8 points or so. We had sacks and interceptions, but we gave up too many yards and touchdowns. It was looking good in the first half.
My bench is Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, Chase Brown.
Man, I knew you were a Cowboy fan.
Okay.
No, I'm just messing with
Terry
you.
McLaurin.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry about him. I'm eating him in this league, or with my other league. I've got him, and he's just not been that guy.
He's only scored a total of not even 12 points.
Devonta Smith or Ayuk?
Devontae.
If you can't tell, Sponge is an Eagle fan.
It's not just the Eagles fan bias, but did you see Devontae last week? He broke out like always when AJ is not there, and Brandon Ayuk has looked weak. He's looked all sorts of not. He hasn't looked like he has hit the gym.
God, I know. I don't trust Ayuk.
I don't trust Ayuk
but
either.
Also, New Orleans is playing lights out right now.
I also understand that Debo's out. That could.
Ooh, that does add value. And actually, one of the PFF top 3 start quarterbacks of the week is Brock Purdy. Actually, they say Dak's a must start as well. Which, I mean,
should I start? No.
Gardner Minshew tore us up. Say what?
I was gonna say, should I start him? But no, I have Josh Allen. I'm just I wish this was a 2 quarterback league where you could put the quarterback in the flex.
But of course, the 49ers, they're playing the Jets, I think, this week? No. Who are the 49ers playing? LA. Oh, yeah, you start Ayuk 100%. Even though they're going to get up early and just run the ball on them. Jordan Mason's going to have so many touches in this game. So many.
You say that, but like,
The Rams' offensive line is rated 29.8 on PFF. The next high team above them and 31st is 50. Poor. I just, like I said, I feel so bad for Ram fans. I had such high expectations for them this season. And that's why, for all the new viewers, would you take it? It's been talked about a lot. Stafford to the Dolphins. Might not be a first round pick, but you might be able to get like a second and third.
second and third. I also think that's a little much.
My thing is this, man. I'm
I
sorry,
mean, I
but
would love for the Panthers to get a second round pick, but I think, respectfully, I think that
I don't even want to
it,
involve Bryce Young in the trade. I just keep that in between Miami and LA. It's just unfortunate, man. If I don't know, I think the left tackle injury is pretty bad. They're already using, like, I don't know the severity, but I think majority of those injuries on the offensive line are like season or long-term style injuries. Yeah, they're gonna run the heck out of that ball if they get up, but okay, he's a Birds fan too. Has Jalen Hurts as his quarterback and Ram. Oh yeah, the Rams defense was going to be better this year. The cornerbacks have played disappointingly, and of course, with the offense not performing like it's supposed to, it's just not the defense that they built it for. What they're having to do currently. It's just like I said, it's unfortunate. I would 100% if I was the Rams. Like, Stafford's got to be eventually eyeballing it. This year is not the year going to be your year. I think there's actually not a lot of money left on the Stafford deal, if I remember correctly. So it could be done. It could give the Rams a little bit of potential or move, picks for the next year. It instantly puts Miami back into the playoff conversation and it probably a favorite, honestly. Like, can you imagine Matthew Stafford with those weapons? How terrifying that would be in the AFC. I would be terrified of that team. Stafford's still got an arm, and McDaniels is a great play caller, just like McVay is. There's a lot of history between the two. It makes a lot of sense for both teams. Jonathan says, my wide receivers are Adams and Rice currently. Would I like to start Ayuk and Smith, but no way I can sit Rice or Adams. Exactly. Adams playing Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. And Rasheed's a monster. He should be probably suspended, but we're not going to get into that. That's a whole different topic. So talking of course, the three starters. So we've got PFS here, start them, sit them. Looking at quarterbacks, must starts: Brock Purdy, Jaden Daniels, Dak Prescott. Purdy coming off a 319-yard performance. He's going to have even better. He's playing the Rams. They always like beating up on the Rams. Ask any of the 49er content creators that join us here. Jaden Daniels has the sixth most fantasy points per game so far this season, averaging 20.8 per game. His 85.5% completion percentage, albeit it's very short passes, pretty good. And Dak Prescott, QB 15 so far this season, facing Cleveland and New Orleans, though, some of the better defenses in the league, both ranked in the top 6 in coverage. Baltimore,
Levi,
we're not playing up to poll.
as
Streamlabs puts up the
Levi, who else could be in on the Bryce Young sweepstakes?
I don't think they're trying to get rid of him yet, man.
They're not, but we'll have to see in the draft class because somebody's probably going to offer for Bryce Young if the Panthers get the first overall pick.
I'm sure the Dolphins have already sent him a second round
They
offer.
They probably already or not. It's probably like a third or fourth rounder.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to go second unless I don't think they're desperate. I think, last year when they had Skylar Thompson come into the games, it worked. It worked. And I don't think Skylar's bad. And this is why I don't like the people saying that, saying this stuff about Skyler because he hasn't been bad when he's actually played for Miami.
They got to call up my boy Gunnar Watson, man. I'm telling you.
Maybe the Giants can hit him up.
There's a few guys, man. Like, legitimately. I'm going to go get my stats on Gunnar.
Can somebody not go offer the Patriots for their backup quarterback who outperformed their second overall pick, Joe Milton? Hey, Miami, you know who could throw some great balls to Tyreek and Jalen downfield?
I mean, you're not wrong on that. He's got an arm for days. He's definitely got some, some issues here and there with his like accuracy, but like, you're not wrong though.
Hey, New York Giants, you need somebody to throw the ball down to Malik Neighbors and Wando?
They've got offensive line issues though. Their offensive line is so bad.
But like,
you remember when we were talking about Spencer Rattler challenging David Carr for the starting quarterback position in New Orleans?
Yeah,
those are funny times.
I think Derek Carr heard that. I heard that.
For real.
I heard that. So he just, and then next year he's going to be back down to mediocre.
Oh man.
I really think what would be a nice. Never mind. I just thought about it in the moment because I was thinking about all the the trifecta of the three quarterbacks who are in the lead to win MVP already: Sam Darnold, Derek Carr, and who else? Who's that other guy that's playing well? Oh, Baker Mayfield. I was thinking of those three.
Concept.
And I thought about Bryce Young to the Vikings, but nah. JJ is too good for that to happen. But
checking my numbers here.
This other team I thought of. What about the Raiders?
I mean, Gardner beat the Ravens.
I don't mean.
I know they need something like. They need something bad. I'm trying so hard to get this thing to come up, but it's. So Gunnar Watson, by the way.
Guys, remember when we thought that Aiden O'Connell was all that?
I mean, he can throw. He throws a deep ball with a lot of air under it. That's what he's got.
Raiders, you want a semi-fast guy? Don't worry, he's not getting in car crashes. Rasheed Rice and freaking Damon Arnett. Hey, who remembers the name Damon Arnett?
No clue on that one.
Him and Henry Ruggs, the two great Raider receivers, who both got arrested in the same year.
Shots fired.
After being drafted, literally shots fired. Quite literally shots fired. Damon.
My boy Gunnar Watson, though, with percentages, 8th in passing grade, 27 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. That's 6th. 5th in passing pressure grade, 10th in blitz pressure grade.
Respectfully,
he's 3rd place among people with 50% snaps. 5th in throwing under pressure, 3rd in play action passing, most play action drop pass attempts in the class, like 212 compared, like no one was even close. He was 17-0 on play action passing touchdowns, 60.6% completion percentage overall. Like I said, 6-year starter. I'm telling you, my boy Gunnar Watson from Troy needs to be playing quarterback somewhere.
So the problem with that is he could be a really good player coming out of college. Well, of course, that how old he is could affect that, but
very true.
And here's just a problem I see. I was playing college football. Okay, I went to Rebuild, Nevada. Okay.
Okay.
Year one, I pick up a 4-star halfback out of Tennessee, I believe. I didn't play with him in the first year, although I forgot to redshirt him, so he just played a few downs. And that was a mess up. And then second year, since I had a new starting quarterback, I played the first game. That man was Derrick Henry build. Derrick Henry type back. And mind you, he was like an 80 overall at this point in his sophomore year. So I'm like, okay, and I was rushing for touchdowns and touchdowns and touchdowns. Problem is, he couldn't do that in the sim. They would give it all to the other halfback that was a sophomore.
Oh, that's so sad.
Who was like a 3-star, and who was only a 74 overall. And I was getting mad because even if I switched him to the third down back or the power back or whatever, that's what his build was. He was a power back.
And they still wouldn't play him.
And they would play him, but he
Do I
wouldn't
start
get
Ford or Diggs? Flex full PPR. Jerome Ford's actually been losing a little bit to what's it?
Although I'm gonna be honest, I think you're screwed either way.
Here we go. Deonta Foreman got a team high 15 touches last. He rushed 14 times for 42 yards and caught his lone target week 2 in Jacksonville. Looks like he might be taking over the backfield for Ford. So I would definitely start Diggs. Yeah, I've actually just picked up Deonta Foreman in my fantasy football league right here. So that's definitely what I would do there. T-Money, should I trade Mahomes, Ridley, London for Burrow and Chase? 10-man team is Mahomes, Jacob, Connor.
Burrow is not healthy, and Jamar.
Yeah, dude, I'm scared. I'm honestly scared about Joe Burrow's wrist. He looked a little better. Jamar.
And I understand Jamar. He was still practicing, even though he hadn't got his contract.
Yeah,
and
definitely
not
not
that
taking
contract.
that trade.
I am not taking that trade one bit.
Yeah, he's going up against the Giants, though. They are booty. Let me see here. Double check. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, New York has not been playing good football. New York is the 8th worst run defense in the league. Or I'm sorry. Oh, you meant to say Foreman, not Ford? Okay.
It doesn't help when they both have similar names and they're both running backs for the
I know, right?
Cleveland Browns.
Not Buffalo. Houston has not been the team that everyone expected them to be this year, but they're still playing pretty good football. Houston is playing Minnesota.
I'd chalk that up as a loss.
Minnesota has actually got the 6th ranked coverage unit in the NFL right now.
Flores.
Ooh.
They need to find a way. These Vikings need to find a way, okay, to sign him long term and make sure no other team picks him up as a head coach. Brian Flores is strictly the reason that they are winning football games. I understand Sam Darnold has looked good and the offense has looked good, but the main reason the offense is getting out there on the field, this defense is amazing.
Dude, this is probably one of the toughest questions. So hear me out on this. This is going to be rough for the Houston Texans. This is a little bit of a revenge game for two different players. I think you know where I'm going with this. I'm pretty sure Grenard went from Houston to Minnesota, and Daniel Hunter went from Minnesota to Houston.
They swapped.
Also, I preached it in the offseason. I said Andrew Van Ginkel is going to be a great free agent acquisition, and he signed a 2-year, $20 million with Minnesota, and he's been playing pretty good football up there for Minnesota. Minnesota, they are going to be challenged to get rid of the ball quickly. And again, Minnesota's got a great coverage unit. That's God. If they give Deontay more carries than he got last week, if he sees maybe an increase by 5 carries, I would take Foreman, I feel like, over Diggs. But that's a big if on those 5-6 carries. Because if he got 5-6 more carries, that puts him at 20 carries against one of the worst run defenses in the league. Man, I'm going to be ballsy here, Garrett, and I hope I don't lose your league. But I think you start Foreman. I really think you do. Oh, God. Oh, I know. As a Raven fan, it's a must win for us. This is the absolute worst run defense in the league. Mozzie Smith was a reach for Cowboy fans in that draft, 2 years ago. They can't stop any run. If the Ravens cannot get their run game going against the Dallas Cowboys, it's kind of time to hit a little bit of a mild panic button on the Ravens run offense. I'm a little worried myself. I think Spongy might be cutting in and out again.
No.
Okay.
But like,
But by the way, the sits of the week for quarterbacks: Matthew Stafford of the Rams, of course, because that O line is horrible. Aaron Rodgers has only scored 21st most fantasy points this season, and they're leaning towards running the ball with that dual-headed backfield now. And Justin Herbert playing, of course, against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here's the thing: Justin Herbert scored 22.4 fantasy points this season. That's 26 among quarterbacks. He's only attempted 46 passes. That's 28th. So he's barely passing the ball in that Greg Roman offense, and the Steelers are coming for him a little bit. What up, David?
But like, if I want to continue my story just real quick, and it was getting to the point where he got hurt in his senior year, which might have really, hurt him. I think he got a broken fibula.
Yep.
I think he suffered this, same injury as his. And I go to check because I had a lot of key guys, and I actually got Nevada ranked into the top 25. So, I hadn't really recruited a running back.
If I get college football 25, I'm going to stream that, by the way, 100%.
I hadn't gotten the chance. I didn't realize he was hurt, so I tried to.
Etienne for Ramondre. I don't think so. I think I'm keeping with Ramondre on that. He's got a clear lead there.
I tried to redshirt him so I could get at least one extra year to possibly get him to a 90 overall because he was a 95. Oh, sorry, 85. And I go, of course he's a senior. I can't redshirt him, and I was having trouble recruiting a running back. So
they saw what you did to him.
I recruited the 2-star, and he ended up being my starting running back the next year. But that's besides the point. I ended up checking when they show the graduates and stuff, and if they get drafted. He didn't get drafted. I was like, in real life, he would at least be a 7th.
That's where you switch to the Madden franchise and you go draft. You go pick him up as an undrafted rookie free agent.
Hey, I would if I could.
Stardoms, by the way, for running backs this week, they're leaning towards Zach Moss. What's crazy is I don't understand this for the Bengals.
Thanks. That helps you.
And that's why I said I mentioned we were going to talk about this. So check this out. This is crazy. I've got some charts and stuff pulled up here. So Zach Moss is leading that way, like almost roughly 75% of the snaps, though. But he had 12 carries for 34 yards. That's garbage numbers. Chase Brown had 4 runs for 31 yards. They're struggling in runs, but they're refusing to move to the young guy.
Is this for me just to trade you Chase Brown?
They're saying Zach Moss is a must start just because the Washington Commanders, but and of course they're not even giving Chase Brown the 3rd down carries. On goal line carries, Zach Moss has gotten 8 to Chase Brown's 2. Short yardage, 4 carries for Zach, 0 for Chase. 3rd down carries, 8 for Zach, 1 for Chase Brown. But Chase does get some looks on the early downs. He's gotten 10 looks on the early downs to 29 on Zach. So it's just one of those ones. I don't understand why they don't move to Chase already. It's like one of those situations. I feel like I'm watching Pittsburgh. Najee Harris is slow, doesn't really get it, and then Jalen Warren comes in and lights it up, and everyone in Pittsburgh's like, why is Jalen not the starter?
I'm shocked this guy currently doesn't have a job in the NFL. I mean, I think he could play on special teams too. He is the son. Once you said Moss, this is what I thought of Randy Moss. And, he has a son, Thaddeus, who was on that 2019 LSU team, the starting tight end, who I think also played a bit of receiver. I understand he struggled in his first year, second year, but why doesn't he not even have a chance on special teams as a blocker?
Shout out the other two running backs, must starts. Tony Pollard, of course, with Tyjae Spears dealing with that ankle injury, you're going to see probably a little bit more of the carries go to Pollard. Packers have allowed the 7th most amount of fantasy points to running backs this season. And of course, we mentioned earlier, I said I was going to bring up Brian Robinson a little bit. Brian Robinson, one of the must starts, has been one of the most effective runners this season. 6 yards per carry is the second best figure among running backs with at least 20 carries. He ranks 17th in rush attempts this season, despite sharing the backfield with Austin Eckler. And despite the Commanders being one of 3 teams who haven't played an offensive snap with a lead yet this season. So he's running really well despite them not ever having a lead and needing to run the ball effectively. If the Commanders can get that passing game fixed and get some shots downfield and get on the board with some big plays, because they've got some decent guys over there. I'm telling you, the running backs for Washington will be worth. Sits Jerome Ford, like they mentioned, he's on the decline in snaps. Najee Harris went from playing 56% of the snaps in week 1 to 45 in week 2 as they finally give the ball more to Jaylen Warren, like we're talking about. Also, Chargers have the 4th highest team run defense this grade, and as well, DeAndre Swift having a really hard time over there in Chicago. He's been tackled in the backfield on 37.5% of his runs, which is the highest rate among running backs with at least 20 carries. That Chicago O-line, I've actually got some video clips that I don't want to show on the stream just because I'm not trying to get DMCA'd. But I've got clips that I've been watching that O-line.
I had to deal with Bears fans telling me that DeAndre Swift is better than Saquon.
What? Yo, Chicago be smoking some of that. That's what you get. That's what you get from eating deep dish pizza all the time. Your brain just rots.
I agree. And once we signed Saquon and we lost Swift, which I find it ironic.
And go ahead.
Swift was the first signing of free agency.
Oh, I know, right?
I find it ironic he was the first signing of free agency. And they only got on us when we signed Saquon and said he was the first person to get signed free agency.
I think someone brought up JSN.
I find that weird. But me and Carcass had this argument, and JSN
must starts this week.
It caught me. I understand that this was before that I knew that Saquon was going to absolutely go off with us. I said, of course, Swift is the younger back, and he has experience with us.
Swift doesn't have the second type of running style that Barkley has. It's just as simple as that. Barkley can run in multiple styles of offenses and different concepts, and Swift is like a one-trick pony. Hey, dude, not to be mean. But Jameson Williams, a must start this week. Rashid Shaheed from the Saints has been that deep threat. They've got him as a must start against your Eagles, I believe. The Saints have the week's 3rd best matchup for wide receivers against the Eagles. And then Jackson Smith-Njigba caught 14 passes this season, which is tied for 4th among wide receivers. He faces the Miami Dolphins, who sport the 3rd lowest team coverage grade so far this season. And of course, Jameson, they're really starting to utilize him more in that offense. Sit Jalen Waddle, of course, because Tua's hurt. Xavier Worthy. He's still playing less than 70% of the team's offensive snaps. He's only caught 2 passes along that way. And again, that's what I told people when they played our Ravens. Yes, he had those points, but it was on a blown coverage. which is great for you as a fantasy owner that week, but you have to understand that that production might not be there long term. Um, Really interesting one here. Amari Cooper of the Cleveland Browns. This one surprised me a little bit. Cooper has only caught 5 of his 15 targets this season. 7 of those incompletions, though, were uncatchable balls, while 3 he dropped. They're just, and it seems like Deshaun is going to other people in that offense other than Cooper, which, I never trusted that Browns offense to start with.
Should Deshaun really even be the starting quarterback?
I mean, not wrong there.
On that Diddy type stuff, bro.
Yo, last week I flexed Brian Thomas over Mark Andrews. I was right about that in my 1/2 PPR. Do I continue with the Rook Mark this week? The reason Mark is a flex job because I have Laporta. And they're saying Laporta needs to get involved, and this is a great game for them. They're playing Arizona, right? Yeah.
Jalen Thompson.
Yeah, Jalen Thompson, the starting safety, strong safety for Arizona.
Well,
like week 1 had 100% catch rate on him. Like he can't cover a tight end to save his life. So Laporta should eat this week.
I'm thinking he's going to get released, and they're going to switch somebody like Max Melton over there. Who I am still so disappointed we didn't get Max Melton.
Brian Thomas, though, like legitimate is a.
I knew. I'm gonna be honest. I knew he was gonna be legit.
And we talked about that last week, and we said Brian Thomas might be the new number 1, and Christian Kirk's wide receiver 3 in that offense now, essentially. Yeah. Brian Thomas ranked 32nd on the wide receiver power ranking matchup this week. Let's see where Mark Andrews is on the tight end list here. He's ranked 6 because the Cowboys don't have any linebackers either.
I don't know why LSU always comes out with these amazing receivers. And they came out with another 2 this year. It's crazy.
Let's see here. See, the thing with Andrews is this.
That's why I had you look at that one redshirt freshman.
They won't likely to be the guy, but we saw the difference. So in week 1, Mark Andrews played 8 of 13 snaps or something like that. Week 2, he played 21 of 28. But when they get behind, they put likely in more. Mark Andrews should eat this week. Who is Jacksonville playing against? Let's double check this real quick. Buffalo. Ooh. That's going to be Buffalo's one of the worst coverage units in the league. 8th in. Oh, that's extremely rough. Let's see here, though. We got to make the call. Brian Thomas or Mark Andrews?
Brian Thomas. No disrespect to your guy, but I also have Brian Thomas in my fantasy league. And he's been really good. He's consistently been putting up 12 points. And if you can get that out of your flex, if I were you, I would definitely not be mad.
I'm leaning towards Brian Thomas again for you, just because Mark Andrews should eat. But the Ravens O-line has serious issues. This is the absolute worst run defense in the league with the Ravens playing the Cowboys. The Ravens are desperate to show that they can get the run game going. And I feel like there's going to be a very big effort to show that. New Orleans literally whooped the crap out of them mostly just by running the ball and then run and play action. There's a lot of mouths to feed in that offense. Gosh, I really feel like Brian Thompson's going to be your guy this week. But that's a hard one because, like I said, the Cowboys are really bad.
And I think he's going to be the guy for you for the next 15 weeks.
I'm trying to see if I find any other information on that matchup. That, like I said, that's so hard. Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews are listed in the top 10 power rankings from that guy who's a top 5 analyst or top analyst, one of three in the past 5 years.
I mean, but we've seen this year has been really hard to predict.
It really is.
So I
Home
don't
team
know
me
if
needs
I'll
that win
listen to that
though.
guy.
Hold on. I'm going to go on my PFF next gen stats here. I want to look at that matchup a little harder. Give me one moment, my guy. I'm dedicated to getting that right answer on this one to be 100%. So I got to go to the Jacksonville lineup a little more is what I want to look at. So we need to go to the opposite side against the Bills defense. Let me see. Can I present the screen? We can share this tab. Let's zoom it in. So this is the Bills defense essentially. Oh, I forgot. The Bills have no linebackers.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I think Brian Thompson. They're going to be running zone, and Jacksonville should be able to eat this apart. Is what's going to happen. They have no linebackers. They're so injured that this guy's, I think, a former 7th round linebacker. Yep, out of Clemson. He's having to run the defense now.
Although,
like
I still have the Buffalo Bills winning that game. Call me crazy.
I mean, Josh Allen's going to do his thing, but that's also going to work in the favor for Jacksonville throwing the ball.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. God, that's gonna be so controversial. But I'm gonna go with Brian on that one. There's been a small niche that wants to get rid of Mark Andrews. I don't agree with it, but I want to see better utilization out of that offense.
It depends. I think a lot of people said that after Isaiah Likely
had that breakout week 1.
Yeah.
I have CeeDee Lamb, Puka, and JSN as my receivers. I have tons of running backs
Puka's
like
hurt.
Etienne, Mason, James Cook, Dobbins, Robinson. Was offered a trade MHJ for James Cook.
Yeah.
Should I take it?
Yes. You already got plenty of running backs. Marv is going to be, trust me, I know. I have him in fantasy. He's going to break out.
You do? If you need wide receiver help, man.
Although, hold on.
I think I would maybe do it.
Hold on. Before you say that, CD might be hurt.
True.
And Puka definitely is hurt. And JSN hasn't made much production the past year.
All the more reason he needs that wide receiver for Marvin Harrison Jr.
Exactly.
Like I said, I think I would take that trade. Like James Cook's gonna hurt losing him.
Mm-hmm. But how many other running backs does he have? Like 4 other guys?
Brian Robinson's a must start this week, averaging 6 yards a carry. He's going to continue just to eat carries away from Eckler. And like we mentioned, if the Washington offense can ever get their passing game going and get ahead in games, they haven't even run the ball with a lead. Brian Robinson's running to try to catch up in a sense. Like Etienne, I mean, he's fighting with was it Bigsby down there, but he's still got the lead. Mason, we never know when McCaffrey's coming back. Mason's going to get a ton of carries this week. Dobbins continues to show what they do. He's a solid RB2-3 for sure. I think I take that trade if I'm you. I think also, depending on your league, you might be able to find another guy in free agency. And if you've got IR, man, move Puka to your IR. Free up some space. I know that's what I did in my league. I also believe EJ as well just needed confirmation. Man, good luck to you, my boy. In my ESPN leagues, I'm 0-2 right now as well. Welcome, Captain. How you doing today? Captain, guys, is actually in this league here with us. Let's say, how do I pull up the league? There we go. Let's see. Who's Captain playing this week? I still have to set my other lineup.
And by the way, guys, Captain is Levi's favorite league mate.
Wait, okay, there he is. You got a purdy mouth. Captain is predicted to win by about 7 points. He's playing Joe Stevens. Shout out to Joe. Let's see. Joe Stevens got Caleb Williams starting still. This is a good matchup. This is a good matchup. Ooh, Tyreek Hill, though, from Captain's team, might not get those points. Mike Evans.
My team.
Y'all both need tight end help, in my opinion. Ooh, y'all both need kicker help, too. I'm surprised enough one of y'all didn't go get a kicker.
Hey, I have guys. All you got to do is give me a running back.
Hey, when Raheem Mostert, though, gets healthy, though, like, Hubbard, boo. Yo, you got to put Brian Robinson in, Captain. What you doing, homie? Where's your flex? What's your flex? Yeah, Amari Cooper is not putting up the points. I'd flex in Brian Robinson there.
His flex is flexing to you that he got Derrick Henry.
Man, Josh Downs coming back for that Indianapolis team too. That's going to be huge. They're going to have a bona fide 3 wide receivers there for a while, I feel like. Roman Wilson hasn't done much. Captain's one of the guys that had, I think, one of the better teams coming out of this. Joe's going to need some magic. Does Joe got some moves he can make? Let's see.
Does he need a kicker?
He kind of does. I think he's got the Indianapolis kicker.
Ooh,
Jolyn Polk. The Patriots have said, and I've got this in my notes here, the Patriots want to make an active effort to get him more involved. He got his first touchdown last week. Yeah, let's see here. Run down some of the notes I had. Wide receivers, Demarcus Robinson and Tutu Atwell, of course, on the rise with Nakua and Kupp's injuries. Everyone, though, but Kyron and Blake Corum stocks took a hit with that O-line. Brian Thompson Jr., like we just talked about, has been averaging 11.55 points in half PPR leagues. The Jags have the 8th lowest pass attempts. He's only averaged 4 targets a game. So that's the only downside is they're not passing a lot there in Jacksonville. But if they start amping it up, Brian Thomas becomes wide receiver number 1. We mentioned a little bit earlier, Amari Cooper, 15 targets, but only 5 catches. He's just not getting catchable balls. Mike Gesicki of Cincinnati, 9 targets, 7 catches for 91 yards. If he had not had the touchdown overturn in week 1, he'd have double-digit points 2 weeks in a row, making him one of the top tight ends in the league. However, be wary. He may see some drops in targets when T. Higgins finally comes back. I think he's still questionable for week 3. If you haven't added Braylon Allen in your fantasy football league, you need to add him. Hunter Henry, of course, one of the other high target acquisitions for tight ends. He's only rostered in 48% of the leagues, but he leads New England in all categories, including targets, yards, receptions, and yards after catch. Like we mentioned, though, they have said they want to get Jolyn Polk more of the ball. He's only rostered in 12% of leagues. Like I said, got his first touchdown week 2. But he's already rostered on Joe Stevens because he knows about the Washington wide receivers a little bit. Rome Odunze, I don't know if you saw, his family's supposedly been really mad about Caleb Williams' play.
Bad.
I'd make that trade, Jack. You can't start. Yeah, like I said, I would 100% make that trade. I just got home checking all my teams as we speak. Nice. You're welcome to come in too, by the captain. The link's in the Sleeper app. I don't want to scroll down to show it. God, I finally won last week, but I gotta win this week. Like,
you don't want to check my matchup.
I'm about to say, I want to look at your matchup so bad. Let's see. You're playing the GOAT Rick 21, who's 0-2 to start the season. So PPR, should I start Derrick Henry or Smith at the flex? Or if you're talking about Smith, are you talking about Jackson Smith? Okay, you got a show starting in 20. Good luck with that, my guy. I mean, it's got to be Henry, right? Dallas is the worst run defense in the league. And like, I'm a Ravens fan. If we don't get that run game going against Dallas, it's time to hit the panic button a little bit. I feel like you got to start Henry on that. Oh, Devonta Smith. Oh, yeah, I'm still leaning towards Henry.
No, I'm still leaning towards Devonta Smith.
What? All right, we got a split opinion. This is a Ravens fan and an Eagles fan on here is the funny part about it. So I'm going to give unbiased here and give some numbers. Not that I don't love Devonta, though. And you said A.J. Brown's not going to be there for the next week? Or this week, I'm sorry. Let's see. Oh, you got to put a running back in, man. Let's see. Okay. Jaleel Fairburn.
You're saying okay. You're saying okay too much.
Dude, we got to get you some. Where you really don't have any other running backs? How have you not gotten one of the guys in free agency? All right, we gotta make Spongy a trade or something like. Who do I make this? But now I want to keep Deonta Foreman too. I'm sorry, Sponge. I don't know who to trade you, my boy. I've got all the young running backs. You want Tank Bigsby? Oh, we lost Sponge. Sorry, Devonta. I know, right, Jay? If you're a Seattle fan, welcome in, my guy. Oh gosh, I'm sorry.
Guess who decided to join the show today?
Who's joining the show?
Nancy Pelosi.
Welcome in, Nancy. Give me that super PAC money.
Literally before you started this stream, and that's why I was 5 minutes late. I was rewatching last week's Jackbox games.
I can't wait to make some Diddy jokes this week on Jackbox games.
Yes.
For those that don't know, by the way, tomorrow night, Jackbox games, 10 p.m. We play games. Sit down, have an adult beverage. It's an adult humor show. We have so much fun playing it. It's a good time.
But we had too many CIA agents in on the last one.
Hey, don't give my career away like that. Do you think I should trade Henry? I'm in a 6-man PPR league. Yeah, I know Hey, that's all right, man. I'm like in a small PPR league as well. But I feel like he might not produce numbers I need. And my other running backs are Kane, White, Cook, and Jones.
Well, you're cooked. No. You're better than me. You're not cooked. I'm really cooked.
Again, I'm gonna give it to you honest as a Ravens fan here. I would think about it. The Ravens' offensive line has not been able to produce anything running-wise. There is a lot of animosity right now within the Raven flock. We have a guard drafted from the University of Georgia in the 3rd round a few years ago named Ben Cleveland, nicknamed the Mountain. Big dude. Supposedly he's yeah, Big Dom's playing guard for us now, bro. You didn't hear? But so he played last year when Kevin Zeitler, the Pro Bowl right guard for the Ravens, was out for 3 games. His PFF grades were about right on par with Zeitler. So, it's one of the reasons why some people were, possibly ready for Zeitler to leave. And for some reason, he's been in Harbaugh's doghouse. They won't let him play. He played center all season, preseason, because we didn't have a backup center. So it seems like he's doing everything that the coaches want him to do, ask him to do. But despite that, they won't give him a chance to play. And the Ravens' offensive line has been abysmal. And I would think about it, man. Try to amp up somebody in your league for it, and then pull it out from under him. All right, let's look for Spongy. We got to find Spongy a running back, guys. So Matt, I mean,
yeah, because I don't want to start.
I mean, if you.
Sorry, I'm back.
No, you're fine. I mean, dude, this is where you got to take chances. You go pick up Tyson Chandler to start with. I mean, he had 10 rushes for 82 yards last week in the win versus the Niners. Yeah, Aaron Jones is the number 1, but God forbid anything happens. Tyson Chandler becomes possibly a RB1. I kind of feel that way with Madison. He's the one that got the touchdown in the Ravens Vegas game. He wasn't targeted in the passing game, but he got the goal line carries, so he could be a flex option. And again, if anything happens to White, I wonder if Dameon Pierce will ever make a comeback. If anything happens to Joe Mixon, Khalil Herbert needs to get more involved. Thinking here, I really thought Deuce Vaughn was going to be a little more something in Dallas. It just never happened. Ooh, see, you could go potentially really deep move for Garendo there. Same thing with Jalen Wright a little bit. Cam Akers not getting the carries. I think Ogun Bawale is ahead technically of Akers.
All right. No. If Akers is still available, I would pick Akers up, but I don't think he is.
Cam Akers is available still.
Ooh.
But I know he's fighting. So let's see. He took first team snaps at practice on Wednesday with Joe Mixon and Dameon Pierce out.
He had a good week this week.
See.
I'll say that he had a great week this week.
It says Pierce is close to return after sitting out week 2. He trends towards missing another game. He had 7 carries for 32 yards, 1 catch for 3 yards, and he lost a red zone fumble.
All I really need is a guy who can at least get me 7 points. Or 10 points. Sorry, 10 points. Because Chase Brown scores about 5 to 6.
So it says as long as Mixon and Pierce are out, he should be the number 1 back for this week, but he could cede some passing down work to Dare Ogun Bawale.
Who famously kicked a field goal last year.
Technically, Cam Akers is listed second on their depth chart, though, ahead of Dameon Pierce. So, I mean, he's available, might be an option, honestly. He is only projected, though, to get 2 fantasy points, which is crazy.
Who do I cut? See, that's my problem.
Don't you have an empty roster spot?
I don't. Not at the current moment, no.
Let me double check. I swore you did.
I might.
That's team. Let me double check here.
I don't think I do.
Because you don't have anyone in the starting running back spot right now. So.
Oh yeah, I do.
So yeah, you've got an open spot right now. So you don't even have to drop anyone. I'd start there. There.
But although, yeah, and then if he goes off, maybe I can dangle him as trade bait.
He's not going to be able to be trade bait because everyone knows Joe Mixon and Pierce are probably going to get the carries. He's going to be a guy you pick up for 1 week just for a matchup and drop him to win that week.
Yeah, Levi, my roster is full.
What? How?
Oh, no, never mind. Wrong week.
Okay. Jay says, if you can give me tips to help improve my team, I'd appreciate it. Hurts, Cook, Kane, Wilson, Lamb, Smith, Bowers, Ravens, Fairbairn, Benjamin, Stroud. Who should I target?
You know a really good pickup for this week, and I see him on the trending up. Jordan Whittington. I don't know if you've touched on him yet, Levi.
Someone actually offered him in a trade to me. The Texas wide receiver, if I'm not mistaken. Rookie.
What happened?
Sorry. You're talking about the rookie from Texas. Yep, Jordan Whittington here for LA.
Yeah.
It's just one of those ones. I know he's going to get more chances, but that offensive line's so bad that I can't. He actually was offered to me in a trade in one of my ESPN leagues, and I shot it down. I forgot what the trade was, but I was not going to make it.
I still think he's going to be the guy on that. He's going to be the receiver for the Rams that breaks out.
He's got deep speed.
This is going to be their new Puka.
I mean, maybe he's got legitimate speed. Like, he's one of those deep ball target guys that we were talking about in the draft a little bit. As for who you should target, I mean, you've got a solid team. If you're in a 6-man league, man, it's more about making sure you get your lineups perfect every week. But we lost Sponge. Jason says, Spongy, make me a trade for one of my running backs. Ooh, let's see. Let's see what's Captain got for running backs. Brian Robinson, Derrick Henry. Okay, those are his starting two. He's got Brees Hall in the flex. Okay, okay. Let's see. Who else? Who else has he got? Raheem Mozart. Insert skillet. By the way, Captain has the best nicknames for all those people. I need to go do it one day. Insert skillet song here. That's funny. And Hubbard. I mean, that's actually. Let's see. What does Captain need though? What does Captain need? Captain doesn't need a whole lot. What could Sponge trade him? Maybe Brandon Aubrey, one of the kickers. Get a top flight kicker. Oh, Sponge went and got Cam Akers. Good for him. Ernest Jones or Joshua Palmer, but it's going to be rough. Wonder if we can get the. Let's see. We got the weekly report too from this past week. So here's the weekly report. The best manager was Spongy. He set the best lineup with 98% of the perfect lineup. The worst manager, Lambo Legend. That's my boy Andy. He's going through some stuff. I feel my heart out for him. Biggest blowout, Cahill playing Josie. Cahill blew everybody out. 210 points. Absolute monster in fantasy. Narrowest victory, 49ers media over the team that I had to take over for the guy that we kicked out of the league. We're hoping for a better week next week. Highest scorer, though, was technically Sidney Miller, who I'm playing this week with 211. Chimera, who I played last week, 93.7, the lowest. But Cahill blew his prediction out over by 50%. Captain Niner was the below expectation. He missed his projected score by 25 points, was supposed to score 144, only scored 108. Quarterback of the week, of course, was Cahill's Derek Carr. As you can see, Sidney Miller, the top scorers had the Saints players, Derek Carr, Alvin Kamara, Spongy with Marvin Harrison, Brock Bowers, the number one tight end in the league on Cahill's team. Spongy, best kicker. Captain, best defense. Best defensive line went to Aiden Hutchinson, 4.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 5 tackles, 5 QB hits. That is wild, bro. Sidney Miller with the best defensive back in the league. Jesse Bates, 12 tackles, 1 interception, 2 pass deflections. Man, Sidney took Jesse Bates literally like 3 picks before I was going to take him. Same round. Tig for the wig, Fred Warner put up the best linebacker numbers, a sack, 2 forced fumbles, an interception, 9 tackles, a quarterback hit, and 2 pass deflections. Fred was out there doing it all in the game. Lambo had Kyler Murray on the bench. Oh, could have been the difference possibly in that game. Zach Carbonet, number 1 running back off the bench. Calvin Ridley on the bench. Mark Andrews on the bench for 13 points. Brandon Aubrey on the bench for Sponge. Crazy. Trey Henderson for Joe Stevens. Sponge traded Trey Henderson to Joe, and he put up some numbers finally. Had the best defensive back bench warmer this week. That's wild. And Sydney with Landry, crazy. And then we started making some moves across the league. It's been a wild week, that's for sure, in fantasy. I don't know if anyone predicted some of these. I've got to beat Sydney though. I've got a good chance, but it's gonna come down. I've got too many line players is my problem. I've got Jared Goff, Amon St. Brown. I need a better quarterback. Who is leading all? Let's see. Quarterbacks, stats, season, take off free agents, and then put it on points. So Derek Carr, Baker Mayfield, Anthony Richardson. I got to get me a good quarterback, man. Got to find me one. And we actually, hold on. While we're doing this, let's actually go to the second team I'm controlling. I've got to do it on my phone here. I got to think of a good, funny name. We got Sponge coming back.
Bro, Captain, I might send you an offer for one of your running backs.
I was about to say, Captain's got some good running backs, honestly.
The problem is I cannot afford to go 1-2.
Oh my God, what is going on?
I have to win this week.
Oh man, I feel you. Like I'm 0-2 my other leagues right now. I'm benching. So we're gonna start here on my other team. Trevor Lawrence. I fucked up this week. I had him starting over, of course, Sam Darnold, who lit it up.
You know what I regret?
So that's where we're starting.
I don't regret it, but I find it crazy how once Trey Hendrickson got off of my team, he finally decided to perform.
I thought that was hilarious.
To be fair, so did Ernest Jones, who I got in return for Trey Hendrickson. But of course, I did not start Ernest Jones.
I'm trying to see.
My other problem is Sydney decided to draft both Jay Bates, and it is putting me in pain. Jake Bates and Jesse Bates. You know what Jesse Bates did to my team.
Gosh. And I can't remember in the draft if you were ahead or behind me. But like I said, she took Jesse Bates the same round I was getting ready to take him.
I was pick 11.
Oh, so I would have got him because of the way it snaked back, and then she picked him up, and it came back to me like 4 picks. I was so mad.
Yep. And just like I was mad because remember I was telling y'all in the chat how when y'all were saying somebody else had the reach of the draft, and somebody who was actually picking, and I said no, I have the sleep of the draft. He's a guy ranked in the 5,000s. Maybe I shouldn't have said that because. Of course, right after I say that, Sydney goes out and picks him up.
Man, I've got to find a trade partner for TJ Hawkinson. Like,
I really wanted to do it, but I can't trade anybody.
You've got no running back depth, and that's what I needed, probably more than anything.
Until I get, my injured people back, which I might. I want them to just shut Pacheco down for the year because I want to be able to cut him.
Ooh, Ramondre. I just heard over the TV, Ramondre Stevenson is day-to-day for the Patriots.
That's not going to stick.
Man, I've got to. So this team, of course, was someone who is trolling, and I had to try to recover this team. Our starting running backs: Ezekiel Elliott, Braylon Allen. We've got Brandon Cooks and Tyler Lockett as our starting wide receivers. I do have tight ends though. I've got Kelsey, Kittle, and Hawkinson. T.J. Watt, Tremaine Edwards, Gardner, not bad. But then,
it's funny.
What?
Is there any way that you can check what that team looked like when it first got drafted?
Oh my gosh! 3 kickers, 3 tight ends. Fucking rough. But I picked up Ray Davis, Bucky Irving, Vele, Sam Perrine, Jamal Williams, T. Higgins, Darnell Mooney. Like I picked up every depth pick I could think of.
Would you be willing to trade a running back from that team?
Not one of the guys that's in my starting lineup.
I can't tell.
I've got Ezekiel Elliott, Braylon Allen. The only guys I've got to trade are Ray Davis, Bucky Irving, who are backups. Perrine, who I can't trade him either. And I'm hoping Jamal Williams. He's number 2 on the depth chart, so God forbid I picked him up. God forbid anything happens to Kamara, he becomes RB1 immediately. And T. Higgins just needs to get healthy. I would have won last week, I think, if I started Sam Darnold is the shitty part. But I'm 0-2, of course. This team is the team you played week 1. Sponge blew them out.
No, I didn't really blow him out. I was expecting to win by more.
I know that the tight ends weren't bad. Like I said, I've got TJ Hawkinson. That's who I've got to find a trade partner for him.
Remember, in that game, he didn't have a flex, and he still nearly beat me.
God, he needs a tight end.
You know, I need a running back here, Levi.
I'm trying, man, for you. Yeah.
I think I was gonna cut Jaleel McLaughlin because he also hasn't been performing, and I don't think I can.
The entire Denver offense hasn't. Their offensive line is in shambles.
I don't think I can wait for him to perform. Once I saw him that he was available, I was like, okay, I'm getting right on this.
Yeah, you need beginning of the season help running back, like immediate help.
Yes, I do. And I have because I'm looking to trade for one of your running backs right now. I'm looking at what I have. I have Chase Brown, McLaughlin, Tracy, Akers, and I had Pacheco, and it's crazy that I was listening to Levi's draft special.
I'm high on those guys, but not to be your starters.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting them to be my starters. I really was expecting Chase Brown to be the starter. I really was. I was expecting him to get most of the snaps. I didn't think that Zach Moss performed.
And that's the thing. He's not performing is the worst part. He really isn't even performing, but they just won't make a move for some reason.
I still got a guy on my bench that you also brought up, Ben Sinnott.
Mm-hmm.
Who I think isn't, he's third. I kind of look at this. He's 31% rostered. Guys like Tyrone Tracy Jr. are 2% rostered.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's completely different. I understand, even especially in a fantasy draft with you. Even if I were to wait and not draft a Tyrone Tracy Jr. and use one of my extra bench spots to get him, so I can shore up and get a better running back, which I really could have done.
Yeah.
I really should have done that, but I knew you were going to take Tracy. And
the thing is this: you took your shots, but you didn't have like case point. Like I said, I had Aaron Jones already at that point. I had my number one guy, at least on the board.
I also had my number one guy.
Who, Chase?
Pacheco.
Oh yeah, Pacheco. True, very true. Actually, that just sucks, man.
I have him in both leagues. And I have Chase Brown in both leagues.
God, man, I know. I'm trying to. You need to find a running back, and I need to get rid of a tight end.
And thank God, in my other league, the people are dumb, and half of these rookies are still available. So I would still be able to pick up a guy like I still was able to pick up a guy like Ezekiel Elliott, who's the starting running back on your team. Bro, did you hear the bummer with Marshawn Lloyd?
Oh, Marshawn's on my IR right now. I'm literally looking at him on my sleeper app, like on my IR, as I'm trying to
just throw this out there. No, that's bad. Hold on.
I'll say you're trying to trade for
I'm not saying who I'm trading for, but it's one of your running backs.
Who are you trying to take from me?
We kind of brought him up earlier. And we bring him up every week, I think. Hold on. Oh, bro, you know what else is a bummer? Brendan Rice.
Oh, dude, for real.
Brendan Rice. I was probably gonna take him anyway because I was like, okay, I have Herbert. And I wasn't really expecting Herbert to go off this year because I was like, hold on. Harbaugh has guys like Alex Smith, and he makes those type of guys.
Mm-hmm.
J.J. McCarthy, he was a very pass-oriented type quarterback, although he did run the ball with Corum and Donovan Edwards a decent amount. But I was expecting more from Herbert, but he's only averaging like 10, 12 points a game, and I can't start him. And Brandon Rice, of course, he's off of the injured. He was never injured, but they have yet to suit him up, and it's kind of a bummer.
I'm about to send Cahill a trade offer, actually.
And you know what? Then I'll send you this damn trade offer. I don't care if you don't like it.
It's always
And no pity accepts. I don't like that.
No pity accepts.
Did you see that guy for the Chargers?
Oh, I didn't realize.
The Scott Matlock, who played the defensive snaps and the offensive snaps.
I thought I was going to send it to him, but there's no way he takes any of my trade offers right now.
Oh, no, really? That's how I thought about it.
I thought I saw someone. I must have been looking at the wrong team. Let's see. What did Spongy send me here?
I wouldn't look for you.
Trade offers. Jaleel McLaughlin for Bucky Irving. That's tough, actually, in my opinion. Like, 37% rostered, 5% start.
Okay, this guy didn't have. This guy. So the Chargers have listed Scott Matlock as their starting fullback, but they are using him as a defensive tackle as well.
The Ravens did that with Patrick Ricard. Patrick Ricard was originally D tackle.
But this guy seems like he was a 30-year-old who just got in the league. He is 24 years old, 6'4", 296 pounds. That is a 300-pound man running the ball. If they can get that to work, that could be nasty.
Oh, I don't know if I could do it. Sponge Buck with Rashad White dealing with a injury.
I really wasn't.
I just don't trust that Denver. If you had offered me that before the season started, I would have took it.
Yeah. Bro, what is going on with Brenton Strange right now? Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Sorry, Sponge.
That put the penny on top. Hold on. Brenton Strange, is he going to be the tight end one over there for next week at least for his Buffalo?
Maybe.
Because if so, I might need to take a little flyer on the guy.
I mean, Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox are both hurt. That'd be wild. Let's see. Stardom Titans. They say Isaiah Likely. I don't know about that. Dallas Goddard is an absolute start this week. 12th most fantasy Titans.
No. I would start him, but the problem is he's a guy who I don't know what's up with Kellen Moore. He has yet to target the guy as much as we all thought he was going to.
Yeah, see, they're saying that with A.J. Brown being out, that's where the targets are actually going to go.
We were expecting that last week.
True.
And that has yet to happen. We were expecting Jahan Dotson.
Man, I had no faith in that, dude. There's a reason they traded him.
You know where all the targets went?
Jahan is jokingly
you want to know where all
Kadarius.
The targets went? Our return man, Brenton Covey.
I saw a Covey actually started on the depth chart right now, actually, on PFF.
I'm telling you, that man, before this game, had 5 career catches.
Must sits tight end Colby Parkinson from the Rams. Like we talked about, anyone other than the Rams, other than running backs, took a hit. Dalton Schultz actually one of the must sits going against the Minnesota Vikings. They're really good against the tight ends. And Pat Freiermuth, even though he got that contract extension, only 41 routes this season. That's tied for 24th among tight ends. They've got a really hard matchup though against the Chargers.
I don't know why, but I never liked Pat Freiermuth.
Dude, Steeler fans are super high on him, but he can't stay healthy. Must start kickers. Tyler Bass of the Bills, Blake Group of the Saints, and Jason Myers of the Seattle Seahawks. Must sit Young Ho Koo of the Falcons, Greg Zerline of the Jets, and
I don't know.
Cairo Santos of the Bears.
I agree with the Bears one. I don't agree with the first guy,
I know the Falcons.
the
Let me
Falcons.
see.
He's always, especially in our league, I think he's a must start because
I
this
know.
guy's going. This analyst is going based off of probably the leagues he's in, and he doesn't. He probably doesn't do the extra points for the kick past however many yards.
Maybe.
I
Must
mean, that
start
would be weird.
defenses: Tampa Bay, Las Vegas, and Buffalo. Must sit defenses: Dallas, the Los Angeles Chargers, which I don't agree with that one, and the Miami Dolphins, which the first two are the first and third I agree with. I don't agree with sitting the Chargers. I really don't, especially against Justin Fields and that offensive line. I think Bosa is going to eat.
Yeah, Justin Fields has yet to throw a touchdown pass. Or he might have thrown
Let
one
me
last
see
week.
here.
I think
I'll
he
look
threw
at
one
this.
last week or whatever, same thing. But he threw one.
Where's Atlanta's kicker on this list? I'm looking at that guy that does the that's like a top 3 in the past 5 years. Number 1 kicker this week to start is Jake Moody versus the Rams. Second is Harrison Bucker versus the Falcons.
Ooh, Jake Moody is so very inconsistent. I can't.
From under
He
40
can
though,
miss.
he hits.
From under 40, he hits. Over 40, he's
See,
very
on this
inconsistent.
list, Young Ho Koo, 13th on the list out of 32 kickers. So upper, not bad. Not bad. He's got your Eagles ranked 7th versus the Saints
Is
for
Ole
this week
Miss
matchup.
good at all? Hold on.
Let's see here. Defense, it says start the Browns absolutely against the Giants. Yeah, you've got to start the Browns defense this week. They're ranked at number 1. Tampa Bay's number 2. Yeah, there's a couple good ones here.
Quiz when you get back. Get your homework.
Very interesting, some of these, though. Oh, we got another question from Antonio. Would you do Josh Allen, Kyron, and Waddle for Richardson, Moss, and CD? Ooh.
That running back for both.
Josh
I
Allen
mean,
and Anthony Richardson are both top-tier fantasy quarterbacks right now.
Yeah, Kyron over Moss all day.
Exactly. Kyron's definitely better and has higher stock right now.
Moss is not going to be the starter after
What this is honestly 1A, 1B quarterback. And then you're honestly trading a running back for a wide receiver because CD way higher than Waddle, especially considering.
Yeah.
This is where it would get crazy though. Like we talked about earlier on the stream. Can you imagine if Matthew Stafford got traded to the Dolphins, how much value that would add to Waddle if the Dolphins make a move at quarterback before the trade deadline? Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Christian Watson. Oh, bruh. That's hard.
Let's see what you do, Joe. Let me see. Antonio, is Kyron and Waddle your team? And also, would you pick up Christian Watson with a claim?
No.
I mean,
depends who you have.
I'm guessing somebody dropped him because with Jordan Love, they're not going to have that same offense.
I'm sorry, Jordan Love is coming back. I'd say after this week.
I hope that he doesn't.
I hope he doesn't, but he's going.
There's too much to risk. Okay, so he's the team with Kyron.
Okay.
What up, David, by the way? So, Antonio, can I ask what your other wide receivers are other than Jalen Waddle, like your other running backs and wide receivers? Because yes, you need to upgrade over Waddle. CD is an upgrade over Waddle, but I think again, Zach Moss is getting 75% of those carries, but Chase Brown is running better. And I've said it from my last drafts. I think by the end of the season, cough spongy, Chase Brown wins that job. But Zach Moss is going to be the early favorite.
Yeah, Levi, too bad. I'm still trading.
I'll take him. I'll take him on one of my teams. But you're probably not going to like the running back you get back.
I was thinking Chase Brown for Bucky Irvin, but no. All
I'd
right.
take that trade.
I don't know. I would have to wait, but also if I wait,
I know,
Bucky
that's
Irving
one.
could just
If
Bucky
something
Irving
happens
could
to
just
Rashad or Bucky Irving becomes RB1.
yeah. But also if something happens to
Same way on the other side.
yeah. But Chase Brown, I say Bucky Irving is better than Chase Brown.
Bucky's a beast. He can score on the goal line while Chase Brown's more of that outside zone speed guy. Like they're a little bit different in their running styles. They're guys that I would like to have on the same team together, to be 100% honest with you.
Yeah.
1 and 2. Antonio says my running backs are Mason, Chubb, Mozart, Chase Brown, Dowdle, and my wide receivers are Rice, Jamar, Adunze, and Dobbs. Ooh.
He already has really good receivers. His running backs. Mason Chubb. Chubb, isn't he on IR right now?
The problem is, man, Jamar,
Mason.
Adunze, like a lot of his wide receivers are being limited by their quarterback plays. The real Chubb's going to come back hopefully healthy and take over that backfield. Mason's going to lose value. Dude, that's rough. Like, so he would be Waddle for CD, which would be.
I would do Waddle for CD. He's not going to take that straight up, though.
I mean, let's see here. I know I'm guessing, too, what this is banking on is potentially late game schedules with Josh Allen and Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson should get better with Josh Downs coming back. The O-line's playing great.
I got to say this.
But I trust Josh Allen more than I do Anthony Richardson long term.
I don't want this to be a jinx. Can you hear me right now?
Yeah.
I don't want this to be a jinx. Who has more injury history, Anthony Richardson or Josh Allen?
Exactly,
and that's the argument I'm going to put up. Further right now,
I think Allen's number 1 in points for quarterbacks too right now.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
And he's been playing much better without Stephon Diggs.
And as they try to get to the playoffs, they're going to air it out.
Especially to guys like Keon Coleman.
I know, right? Like Shakir's getting his bit. I told everyone Curtis Samuel was going to get involved there. They've got good tight ends. Like, I wouldn't want to do the quarterback part of that, but
it's so tough with the quarterbacks.
You're going to get a running back with value now, which you have a running back hopefully that provides later, and you've got Chase Brown, so you've got the 1-2 there if anything happens. Antonio, if you could get him to take the quarterback part out of it,
maybe
I think I'd make that trade because yes, he's the only guy on that offense that's going to see an increase in value.
I think that'll be something, and I think that'll be something that you look back at, Antonio, and say maybe in 5 weeks, and say, I got him, especially with taking out that quarterback. Because I'm sorry, and I don't want to say this, and I don't want to wish injury. Anthony Richardson's going to get hurt for a week or two.
I like the kid.
I like the kid also, but
the running, yeah.
The running, and that's going to be with every.
See, a lot of people aren't talking about Kyron's got competition behind him with Blake Corum as well.
Kyron,
I
don't know.
And Kyron has an injury history as well.
Kyron is much better than Zach Moss, but you're also getting CeeDee Lamb out of that.
The thing is this, it's a clear upgrade at wide receiver. Unless they make a move at quarterback within the week.
CeeDee Lamb, if you're already getting one of the best wide receiver in fantasy. And look at what you're giving up.
Exactly. Like you're really not but like especially if you can take the quarterback out of that, that's a great trade. But I'm guessing it's probably that's like the 6th or 7th round pick he's probably adding on essentially, like to try to that guy, trying to, I don't know, get more value out of it.
That's one of the tougher trades we've been asked.
That is. See, he's got Mason for the short term. He's got Chubb for the long term. Mozart for more the long term. Chase Brown's we bang on long term. Dowdle.
If we're just gonna keep doing this short term, you're gonna find another guy.
And he needs a wide receiver because Jamar, if Burrow's not healthy, Jamar takes a hit. Odunze is already in a crowded wide receiver room. Caleb Williams not playing well. I should say the Bears' offensive line not playing well. Dobbs has got injured value until Love comes back. Like, he needs wide receiver help right off the bat.
This is what I would say. I understand how your team is built now. If Carson Steele is still there, would you cut a guy like Zach Moss in that trade? Well, you would trade for him and then cut him right away and pick up a younger guy, like if Bucky Irving or Carson Steele are available, another guy for the long term.
I mean, I think about that. I had Dowdle in my league. I drafted him. I had faith that he was going to beat Zeke for him.
You drafted him and cut him right away.
Yeah, I had faith that he was going to beat Zeke, and then what I saw from the snap counts and everything and what I heard, they're just not going to give him. He's not going to get a real chance. He's not that guy for them. If they're bringing Dalvin Cook to the practice squad, they're already eyeballing Dalvin Cook for the later in the season RB. I don't have a lot of faith in Dowdle.
Whatever happened.
Not that I believe in Zeke.
Whatever happened to Deuce Vaughn?
Appreciate you, Captain, by the way. And that's what I've been saying. I've been wondering what happened to Deuce Vaughn. I know he's tiny, but I traded Worthy and Flowers for Bowers. That's a great trade, honestly, especially if you needed tight ends. Bowers, like number 1 tight end or 2 tight end in fantasy football right now.
That's so tough that he gave up Worthy, though.
Well, again, we talked about it. Worthy's he got away. He fleeced someone right there. He fleeced someone. Because we talked about it, Worthy's value was expanded week 1 because that touchdown on the blown coverage by Kyle Hamilton. It made his numbers look like he was destined for big numbers when we knew he's a flex option at best. So you traded a flex and a wide receiver 2-3 for a clear tight end number 1. That's a win in my books, especially depending on the league and your team comp, and that's a win, my boy.
I don't know if this is a great comp, but Brock Bowers in fantasy, I would compare him to like a TJ Hawkinson in fantasy. TJ Hawkinson has always been a guy who gets 27 to 30 points every game.
I mean, let's put it this way. I think if I remember under Todd Monken's offense, Brock Bowers put up like 800 plus yards, maybe close to 1,000 out there in Georgia. And of course, in a much smaller college season and playing limited snaps because they were blowing some people out. But 800 yards with more than, I think, 5 to 7 touchdowns. I mean, translate that to the NFL with a few more snaps and some.
I understand Brock Bowers is a great tight end, but they were very bold by picking him, especially when they had another young guy who they had drafted the year before in Michael Mayer.
Yeah, I didn't like the Michael Mayer pick, to be 100% honest with you. Like, I didn't
like either, but pick. I haven't liked picks in the past, and they've turned out.
I always had Mayer as a graded for me as a forever tight end 2 with maybe a little bit of red zone value.
Did you have McMahon on your draft special this year?
I think I did. I don't know if I featured him or if he was one of the guys that just missed it. Actually, let me double check. Go pull up my presentation. It's all a PowerPoint presentation. Let's see here. Here's the offensive draft special. I liked him though, man. Like I'm sad about that.
I am, and I don't think he's gonna pan out with the Rams, like I said. Especially because I don't think he was right.
They already took a guy that was in a similar mold who's now starting for them at center, and Buke Slimmer, who I knew I did actually feature on my draft special, which is just kind of hilarious.
Here's the thing. I
did not cover him because I figured he was such like a known name, basically. if I remember correctly.
I only knew him because I saw him in some videos, and they were calling him the ugliest player in the draft class. I was like, oh, that rings a bell. Jason Kelsey,
Yeah.
They were saying he was the ugliest player in his class. Look where that turned him. I understand that doesn't matter, but it's just like the little things that count.
See, this is now the center starting for the LA Rams. Arkansas Razorbacks 6'5", 302 first, and the bench at 39, the 11th overall center. Really good run blocker, but can't pass block to save his life. Played center and right guard. I had him penciled in more potentially as a right guard than a center. But his best run grades came versus LSU and Bama. So when he came to run blocking, he did it against the biggest competition and runs a gap style more than a zone.
I believe this guy is with them.
Yeah, he's because all the injuries. He's now. Sorry.
What about Omar Speights, the linebacker?
Omar Speights. Not sure on him.
I know he played pretty well in the preseason.
Matt Lee got signed somewhere too, if I'm not mistaken. I always do a follow-up too on my guys.
Matt Lee was another guy who I really like. I think you remember I would draft him in a lot of the mock drafts that David McNiner would do.
Mason McCormick, he's over there in Pittsburgh right now.
Zach Frazier.
Mm-hmm.
And Zach Frazier has really...
I forgot where Cooper went. Cooper was the highest one. We predicted him third round, no later.
Cooper Beebe?
Yep.
Cowboys.
Yeah, I think he's actually starting over there.
Like
a lot of these guys.
Center. Yeah, he's the starting center over there. He was supposed to be there. He was drafted as left guard, I believe.
Yep. Like I said, my draft special, I nail on my late round picks, man. I nailed them.
He had never played center.
Bortolini got drafted too, if I'm not mistaken, as well. The Wisconsin kid.
Who?
Tanner Bortolini.
Tanner Bortolini. He was another guy I was looking at. I forget where he went. Did he go to Seattle?
He might have. I liked him because, again, he played right tackle, left guard, and center. And his best grades came at tackle, actually. Really quick feet.
Bortolini was a guy I was also drafting in the late rounds because I was like, okay, this is O-line depth. This is what we need, especially after the offseason we just had. We lost a lot of our O-line depth.
Poor Christian Jones already on the IR for the season, too, by the way. The tackle from Texas. Yeah, I saw he's on the IR already. Delmar Glaze actually playing, I think, really good for, was it the Raiders? I think took him. Whoever he's playing for, he's actually playing really well.
I think he is on the. We had a lot.
Again, my draft special nailed.
I don't know if you had any guys like Gottlieb Iadzi or whatever his name is. I don't know. And we picked up another guy. Although I do want to just touch this real quick because I wanted to say so much stuff on last night's show to critique my team, but of course my Wi-Fi kept lagging out.
I know, it was rough.
Yeah, it was pretty rough, and I wanted to say, my team, they always cut these guys who have so much potential, and I think I did bring this up, but we just cut a linebacker. And a linebacker is one of the main positions that we need. And this guy performed in the preseason 2 or 3 years in a row. And
here's Ben Sinnott, by the way, on the draft special.
To the Giants.
Ben Sinnott's what I led the tight end position off with. Cade Stover's down there in Houston. This is one of the guys, FCS guy, I think he actually got invited to Bengals camp or might have made the Bengals roster. I think he's got huge upside potential. He's more of a pass-catching tight end.
Why do I feel like he's with Miami?
He might be. AJ Barner, the Michigan kid, was the best run-blocking guy.
Where'd that kid go?
I think Seattle.
Seattle, because I remember Seattle took 2 tight ends. Oh, my God.
He was the best run-blocking tight end in this draft. By far.
Who's the other guy they take? Oh, my God.
Yeah, Jalen Coker, I think, was down in Carolina. Malik
You know a
Cunningham's
guy
on a
who-
roster. Jacob Cowie went to the Niners. Anaya Smith went to your. Yeah, there we go. I got all his stats. Tied for bench 21st, 5'10", 200. Third best drop rate with at least 50 snap requirement. 16th overall punter. 7th in total return yards. Sixth and highest yard per average. Third most punt return yards. Only people behind Xavier Worthy and Keon Coleman. That's why when y'all made that pick, I said I was an absolute fan of that pick. Like,
you know,
another special team guy, Anthony Gold. He's on a roster somewhere. Jaquan
Anthony
Jackson got
Gold.
drafted by the Titans. Absolutely
Anthony
love him.
Gold and Jaquan Jackson were also two guys I was looking at because they had interviews with the Eagles, like with their
Flournoy
like,
got drafted by
reporters.
someone as well.
Oh my god! Oh yeah, Flournoy was another guy I was looking at.
Yep, dude, my draft special hit, man. I'm excited to see how they're doing after the season, though. Like, I had to follow up on my first draft special, and like,
You
I had
might have to
Spencer
do that-
Rattler, Devin
catch-up
Leary,
soon.
Gunnar Watson, John
Oh,
Rice Plumey. I think went to the Steelers as an
I think he
undrafted
did.
rookie, and then Jack Plummer. I forgot where he ended up, but
Plummer. I don't think he ended up anywhere.
I really again, I he was one of those guys, kind of Dan Jones-ish in my opinion. Like, he had a lot of passes dropped by his teammates. If you adjusted his accuracy, kind of like Dan Jones a little bit, might have needed a better team around him over there in Louisville. Still though, Gunnar Watson's my boy. All right. I think it's about time to wrap it up, though. We're starting to talk less and less about fantasy football. But yeah, I had all kinds of stats on a bunch of people, like, all the different quarterbacks as I was coming through. Like, case in point, Bo Nix,
I just wanna
91.2
say
grade
this.
while passing under pressure.
And I just want to say this. Levi had sent the link out earlier in the sleeper chat, and he had said this was going to be a short show. And this has been the longest fantasy football show we have had.
Yeah, I'm not covering Thursday night football this week. Oh god, let me get the cold calendar back up here. We gotta always get the calendar. Not covering Thursday night this week. We're actually covering Cincinnati Washington game on Monday Night Football. We're doing a lot of Monday night games coming up here. We've got 2 Monday night games, and then 2 weeks starting next month. I'm doing it back-to-back, like, kind of games, like same day Sunday style. It's gonna be rough. But all right, let's get ready to get out of here. I appreciate you, Sponge, for coming hanging out with us, talking fantasy football. Man, dude, when I play college football, we're gonna have to talk a lot more about it. I'm hoping maybe I might get a next gen console soon. I won some money back from a property management company. I kind of pressured them super hard, like extremely hard, and they cut a check within 24 hours. And I already nailed it.
I'm playing with North Texas right now, so.
Ooh, that would be a fun one, actually. God, I'm still so jealous. But every Thursday, guys, we have fantasy football, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Maybe we'll have some more people join us in next week. Of course, tomorrow night, our one of our newest and most loved things on the channel here, Jackbox Gaming at 10 p.m. Eastern time. If you haven't come in, come check it out.
Levi, when are you putting out your GM of the North or whatever?
Oh my God. What's funny is I started writing another episode today because I'm 3 weeks behind in doing it. So making a joke about that in a sense.
I literally just saw that Benchwarmer Brand just posted a video, so that made me think of it.
Wait, what did he post?
He posted something about Bryce Young. He posted a short about Bryce Young.
Oh, okay. I know. I'm trying to do it. I gotta get better thing to put my phone on to film is one of the things. But I am trying to do around a Commissioner of the North, a series, fun comical series. But Jackbox, 10 p.m. Eastern time, an adult humor show where we sit back, have a drink, and relax after a hard week, and hopefully not stress our weekend games.
And hopefully not stress about the Buckingham phallus.
And the Buckingham phallus. Legendary. I know I need to start also keeping like the highlight of the week. Like definitely that week, Buckingham phallus. This past week, the Dangler Strangler. It's got to be the key word of the
No,
week.
no. The USS Boner.
You know, they go together. The USS Boner with the Dangler Strangler. But of course, guys.
And
Go ahead.
then we had the terror don't fall asleep. That was.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
I'm
I'm gonna make stream bottle commands to fuck with people so much this week. But of course, we'll be covering Baltimore versus the Dallas Cowboys this Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you come check it out. You know, we've been calling a lot of stuff right on these Baltimore games. You know, we've been telling people about some of these issues, and it's just now people are starting to see it. And of course, Monday night we'll also be covering Cincinnati versus Washington on Monday Night Football. Again, we appreciate anyone and everyone for coming in, hanging out with us this Thursday. Make sure you come back next Thursday. Ask us your trades, your lineup questions, and anything and everything to make sure you get ready for this weekend's betting and fantasy football. It's been a pleasure. Good luck tonight, the Thursday night matchup of New England versus the New York Jets. If you got their teams, David McKnight in there gambling to end the stream. But with that, good luck, Philadelphia. Good luck, San Francisco. Good luck, Baltimore. We'll see you Sunday. And Darwin out.